Hello there, beautiful pixels. My name is Aladrium, and this is the tutorial video for Bedrock Voice Chat. Bedrock Voice Chat has three separate components that all work together to give you the experience of group and proximity chat. Number one, there is a server behavior pack or mod that installs onto your Minecraft server or game server. This tracks where players are in your world and sends that positioning data over to Bedrock Voice Chat's server. You either install the behavior pack for Bedrock Dedicated Server or the Fabric or Paper mod onto your Java servers for players who are wanting to provide cross-game proximity chat for Geyser or other cross-platform servers, or a mod or plugin appropriate for your game. The second component is the Bedrock Voice Chat server itself. It is a high-performance standalone application that handles all of the voice processing. This is the heart of the system and runs completely separate from your Minecraft server itself. It is responsible for receiving player position data from your game server and processing it with all of the audio from all the connected players to give you the actual experience of proximity voice chat. This is a mandatory component of making Bedrock Voice Chat work, and nothing runs without it. Finally, the last component of Bedrock Voice Chat are the client applications. Currently for Windows, Android, through our current Google Play beta program that you can sign up for down in the description, and iOS as soon as we reach our membership and funding goals. All players must install this onto their devices, and these apps connect directly to your Bedrock dedicated server, not your Minecraft server, and send and receive your voice data. They effectively act as your microphone and your speakers. Now here's the important part. Bedrock Voice Chat Server is not a plugin or mod. It is its own standalone executable that you will need to host somewhere. Most commercial Minecraft hosting providers won't allow you to run a custom executable like this, so you'll likely need to host it on your own hardware, such as a virtual private server or separate hosting service, or even directly on your computer that is running Minecraft. This video is designed to help you get Bedrock Voice Chat up and running as quickly as possible. But all of this information that I'm about to present is over on the Wiki in GitHub. So if you like having things in a written form, you can go ahead, head on over there, follow all the instructions. They're very simple and easy to read if you're familiar with the terminology. Otherwise, you can watch this video and you should have a complete understanding of what you need to do in order to make Bedrock Voice Chat actually get up and running. So let's get started. One quick note here, this section is really meant for server operators and people who are hosting Minecraft worlds. If you just want to connect to a Bedrock Voice Chat server that's already been set up, you can go ahead and skip all the way to the next section of the video with the client app. The first component that we will cover the installation and configuration of is the Bedrock Voice Chat server itself. This is the component that is responsible for making Bedrock Voice Chat work, and it is the glue that holds everything together. There are a few things that you need before you get to the installation that you will need to acquire. The first is a domain name. You can buy these for 99 cents over at Namecheap for a very, very simple .site or similar domain name. A DNS provider for that domain name, such as Cloudflare. I recommend Cloudflare because it is free and has relatively good worldwide coverage, and a TLS certificate. You can, of course, buy your own TLS certificates, or you can use a tool such as Certbot on Linux or WinAcme on Windows in order to automatically provision and provide you with a TLS certificate using Cloudflare as your DNS provider absolutely for free. Once you have all of those components in place, you're going to want to head over here to GitHub and head down to the right side here and click on the Releases tab, and then click on the latest release that we have here. There are several releases over on GitHub because we are constantly updating and providing new features and functionality. The current release at the time of this video being recorded is version 1.0.0 beta 1. You might see a different version number, but it should be fairly straightforward which one you need. You will then scroll all the way down here to the bottom to the assets section, and you will download, depending upon your platform, either the BVC Server Linux if you are running an ARM64 device on a Linux server, BVC Linux x64 if you're just running a regular Linux server and then BVC Server Windows x64 if you are running Bedrock Voice Chat Server locally on Windows. In this tutorial, I will show you the very simple and straightforward Windows setup. However, the configuration process is going to be identical across Linux or Windows. It's really just a matter of downloading the right binary from GitHub and then updating a few paths in the configuration file. So first and foremost, go ahead and download this. I will start by downloading this server instance, and then you're going to want to head over to the wiki that I mentioned earlier. The wiki has all the information that you'll need, and you're going to want to scroll down here to the BVC server installation and open this tab up. Just as a reminder, if you are wanting to share this with others, I recommend that you have a hosting provider, as Bedrock Voice Chat Server will not run on your Nodecraft or your Eterno server or whatever hosting provider is currently providing you with Minecraft. I've provided a couple of options here that can help save you some cost. DigitalOcean, if you sign up with the link that's over here, you'll get $200 in credits for your first $25 spend. That's nearly 8 months of hosting on the recommended plan, which is perfect for servers that don't have a lot of concurrent players. You can always pause these if you're familiar with Linux. And also Hetzner, which will provide you a $25 credit for signing up, which you can use immediately. Both these links are here. They are there to help you get started and try this out at relatively low cost. You're going to want to scroll down here after that, though, and head over to this Linux Windows Server General Installation section. And you're going to want to copy this configuration file, this HCL, and just store it in your clipboard for now. In the directory that you have downloaded Bedrock Voice Chat Server, your Windows executable or Linux one, you're going to need to make two directories first. You're going to make a directory called Assets, and then you're going to make a directory called Next, we're going to go ahead and configure Bedrock Voice Chat Server itself. You can go ahead and start by opening up the wiki and heading over to the Bedrock Voice Chat Server installation page, and then scrolling on down to this configuration file here under the config section, and then copying it to your clipboard. You'll then want to open up a text editor like Visual Studio Code or Notepad or Notepad++, and paste this in here and save it as config.hcl in the same directory as the server that you downloaded previously. Now, there's a few things we need to change in here. The first is the IP addresses listed under server TLS names and server TLS IPs. You're going to need to change these to your IP addresses that you want Bedrock Voice Chat to be available on. And also, you're going to want to update the host name or the domain name that you issued for Bedrock Voice Chat to be publicly accessible on to all of your players. Note that this is going to be unique to you. I have local.bedrockvc.stream. You will have a different domain name, and that domain will be the same name that you previously issued your TLS certificates for. Then you're going to come down here to the certificates and keys section, and you are going to replace these with the full path to the certificate chain and certificate key file that you had previously set up. And then we just need to set up a Minecraft access token. So you can go ahead and just copy this link to the bitword and password generator. Just generate yourself a random password, say 35 characters long, copy that to your keyboard, and then paste it in here and then save the file. And with that, you are done configuring Bedrock Voice Chat Server itself. Once you have all of these components saved and has saved this file over to the same directory that your executable is in, you're going to go ahead and open up a terminal. And at this point, you're ready to run the server. All you're going to need is to type in this command here. It's the executable space server --config file config.hcl, and Bedrock Voice Chat will start right up. You may need to accept this smart screen or network thing specifically on Windows. Now, if you are running on Windows and you close this terminal window, Bedrock Voice Chat will stop. So if you're running on Windows, you'll need to either leave this terminal window up, or if you're on Linux, I recommend that you set up something like systemctl in order to automatically manage the daemon and configure and have everything run for you. Next, we can head on into the setup of your Bedrock dedicated server. Now, if you don't have Bedrock dedicated server already set up, you can head over to minecraft.net and simply download this. You're going to want to download the appropriate Bedrock dedicated server for either Windows or Linux, wherever you're going to be running a Bedrock dedicated server. And you'll just simply download that to a directory on your computer. If you're running a service like Nodecraft, you obviously won't need to download this. You'll just need to skip ahead just a little bit until we get to the pack installation. We're going to head over here back to GitHub where we have our releases page. Like I said earlier, you're going to want to keep this pinned up, and you're going to again scroll all the way down here to the bottom, and you're going to want to download either the BDS pack if you're running Bedrock Dedicated Server, or if you are using a Geyser or Fabric or Paper or cross-platform server that you want to support both Java and Bedrock folks cross-chatting, the BVC Fabric or Paper MC mod. This will be a jar file that you download and you'll install it just like any other mod. Once you have your Bedrock Dedicated Server downloaded, you're going to want to extract it, and you'll have a huge directory that looks something like this. All you need to do is copy over that Bedrock Voice Chat BDS zip file that you download over to your behavior packs or development behavior packs folder. And then we're going to make a couple of changes. First, we're going to head over here to the config directory. If this directory does not exist, simply right-click new folder. Same with the default, and you're going to either open or create the variables.json and permissions.json file. The permissions.json needs to look like this. There's a couple things that BDS does not automatically ship with, particularly Minecraft server.net. Again, if you are not familiar with this and kind of just would rather see it, you can head over here to the BDS server installation pack instructions, and I again have all of this information right here for you. That's easy to copy and paste. Once this configuration file, the permissions.json, is done, you're going to want to open up this variables.json, and you will want to paste in the access token that is over here from your config.hcl. I'll just paste that in here. And then the BVC server address where your Bedrock Voice Chat server is going to run. This is going to be the full host name along with the scheme. It will always be https:// followed by the domain name that you placed in the TLS name section. And then you will open up a terminal window and simply navigate to the directory where you have Bedrock Dedicated Server. If you are, again, running something like Nodecraft, you obviously don't need to do this. You can just start and stop your server, and then just type in bedrockserver.exe. If everything is configured correctly, and after you accept the smart screen interface, you should see a log message that talks about loading the Bedrock Voice Chat server and then connecting to bedrockvc.stream. Now, a couple of things about Minecraft worlds when you're dealing with Bedrock Dedicated Server. You do need to, after that world is created initially, head over here to the worlds folder. I have an example right here, and then make sure that you have the world behavior packs folder and just add the pack ID of Bedrock Voice Chat along with the version. I, again, have this listed over on the GitHub wiki, so you can just copy and paste this into your world. This step is mandatory, otherwise your world will not load up and be able to connect to Bedrock Voice Chat at all. The last step in tying Bedrock Voice Chat all together is the client applications. So you're going to want to head back over here to the GitHub releases page, as I showed earlier, and you're going to want to download the client application appropriate for your platform. We're on Windows, so we're going to go ahead and download this here. If you are wanting access to the Android app, go ahead and check out the link down in Discord. There is a form that you can request access to get access to the Google Play beta. This APK file will not work for you because it is not signed for you. So please do not use it. That is a build artifact in order to submit to Google Play. You can access the Google Play. I'm sending out invites daily through Google Play. You'll receive them in your inbox and you'll be able to download it there throughout the month of January while we are in our open testing phase. If you are wanting access to iOS, this is where you can help support. iOS, unfortunately, does have real costs for Apple developer fees, as well as hosting things for the Apple reviewers, along with other miscellaneous costs that are involved in order to make Apple support actually possible. So if you would like to join our YouTube members or patrons to help make this possible, please consider doing so. They play a huge role in helping drive the roadmap for Bedrock Voice Chat and also are helping unlock Bedrock Voice Chat so that it is free for everyone once we reach our membership and funding goals. So if you are interested in part of being that elite team of members who are helping to make the iOS release possible and available to everyone, please consider joining on YouTube members or on our Patreon. Next, we can get started with how to install and configure Bedrock Voice Chat itself. As a quick note, before you can log into Bedrock Voice Chat, you will need to open Minecraft and connect to the Bedrock dedicated server instance that you want to connect with. If you do not connect to this, Bedrock Voice Chat will not let you in. However, once you're connected, everything should work just fine, and then you can proceed to follow the subsequent steps. Once you have the client application on Windows downloaded, you can go ahead and just double click it. From here, logging in is very, very simple. You will just type in the host name that you are running a Bedrock Voice Chat server on. My example right here is local.bedrockvc.stream. You can do this with or without the scheme. However, it will automatically add it if you do not. And then you will click sign in with your Microsoft account. This will bring you to a Microsoft sign-in page, and it will say, are you trying to sign into Bedrock Voice Chat? You will want to click continue to this. And then when it prompts up, it will deep link back into the Bedrock Voice Chat app. Bedrock Voice Chat does have a quick little setup for you that you can follow. You can do an initial configuration of your audio devices. You can select any type of audio device that you want. You do need to make sure that in Windows, your audio device is set to either 44.1 kilohertz or 48 kilohertz. If your input device or your output device does not support that, Bedrock Voice Chat will not show it here. And then you can go ahead and click complete setup. These should pull automatically on Windows from your default device. And at this point, Bedrock Voice Chat is up and running, and you are done. The only thing that you need to do now is to log into your Minecraft server and get playing. For mobile and console players, you'll want to run the Bedrock Voice Chat app directly from your phone. You can background this on your phone so that you can do other things. Unfortunately, at this time, there is no way for me to connect this directly with Xbox or PlayStations or Switches or the mobile app itself. However, the mobile app for Bedrock Voice Chat will allow you to experience proximity chat using an additional set of headphones. And with a set of headphones, experience proximity voice chat using that. At this time, Realms and Solo Worlds are not supported, but it is something that I'm looking into. We just need to figure out a couple things with how to make Realms actually send the player position data that makes Bedrock Voice Chat possible. I have been working on Bedrock Voice Chat for over a year now because I believe that Bedrock is supposed to be better together. And I think voice chat plays a huge role in that. And I have tried to make the client app installation and execution process as simple as I possibly can. However, I am aware that the server installation process, especially if you're unfamiliar with the terminology or don't have experience hosting something like this on your own, can be a little bit cumbersome and more complex than some people can support. So I ask for your patience while I continue to work on refining that aspect of Bedrock Voice Chat so that we can make it more easily available for everyone. As always, please consider liking and subscribing this video. I hope that you found it useful and beneficial. This is obviously a lot for a single video, so please use the chapter selectors to navigate your way around. And as always, beautiful pixels, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Bedrock Voice Chat announcement video.